Welcome to our celebration for the life and work of Dr. Martin Luther King. It is fitting that this year's theme is empowerment through education. As educators, we have a very important role in carrying out Dr. King's vision, but also the vision of many Americans before his time, during his time, and those who carry out his legacy even today. 50 years after Dr. King inspired us, we are still challenged in breaking down the barriers of race and class in the daily lives of our children and in adults in our community and in our country. This holiday is always a challenging holiday for me. Growing up in Selma, Alabama, and still being part of education today, it is a sobering moment in our country's history. While we celebrate Dr. King's life today, we are not celebrating an end to injustice and an end to inequality. And in our work in education, we have a responsibility for setting a better example for the next generation in making progress toward our goals of just being better people who care about diversity and want to be together as a diverse human population. Our job is to create hope and opportunity for every student in our district, regardless of their skin color or their zip code. We're doing a great job at this in some areas of Austin, but I think we all know that we have a long way to go, and there is room for improvement in many other areas of our city. And it is clear to many people in this community that it has been a few difficult months and weeks, not just for me, but for many of you, as we have worked to challenge the status quo and not bend to more injustices and more inequalities for our children. And while I believe our academic work and our facilities work, especially over the last several months and into this school year, we have made great strides in the areas that I think Dr. Martin Luther King would be proud of Austin for doing, like addressing overcrowding in schools and areas where we long have known it has been a problem, and just improving the workspace and the learning space for children of color and language learners in areas of our city, and expanding our opportunities for academic offering for children who, quite frankly, are only a coin's toss away from being able to graduate, and that we are actually doing something about it, working to achieve not only the elimination of achievement gaps, but ensuring that every child walks away from this district with a diploma and a real opportunity in life. And while I know many people have told me, wait, don't work so fast, give it more time, allow us to take more time and do this differently or later, you and I know that we have a different charge in life. When we look in the faces of Black, brown, poor, language learning children across our district, we must ensure that they have an opportunity today, not tomorrow or not after they've dropped out of school, that we are working today for them, and that our charge is to serve them now. Now, we haven't always been understood as a district, and I'm sure that that will continue for a long time in Austin. And our efforts to bring about change have been challenged by some of those who do want to keep things the same way or maintain the status quo. But I believe that our struggle has been worthwhile, because it will open doors and opportunities for many of our children who, without us, will simply have those doors slammed in their faces. And in the face of opposition, I am indeed inspired by the words of Dr. King. Human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step toward the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle. The tireless exertions and passionate concerns of individuals, dedicated individuals. And I see you, the people who have joined me here this morning and are watching us on TV, as the dedicated individuals that will indeed ensure that we are able to achieve the goals that our school board has set before us, ensuring that every child actually graduates from Austin Independent School District. that they indeed will meet and exceed the academic expectations of this community and this board, and that in no way will we create barriers that inhibits them from having the quality education that not only do they deserve, but they have earned because they are residents in this city and are citizens and residents of this country. Now, I want to thank our school community, and I especially want to thank my staff. I want to thank you for standing with me in faith, in the belief that we can indeed do these things. And in doing these things, eliminating gaps and ensuring that every child graduates, we will have done something extraordinary for a district that is an urban district and has the challenges of having large numbers of children in poverty and in high need, but that we as a school community will be the only urban district in America that can make this happen for every child. And for those of you who are still unsure about joining these efforts and in this fight, I invite you, and in again, the words of the good doctor say, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, but just take the first step. And we can all walk together toward the goal of providing our children a better education. As we honor Dr. King today, I hope that you will join me in embracing his ideals and carrying forward with his goals for our nation and for the future every day in our work by supporting children and families in AISD. Intelligence plus character, he says, that's the goal of education. And as adults, we must model that for children to ensure that they see us as the model for what they should do as the base as the future adults, and quite frankly, simply be better than us in the future. Today, we will hear from 3 of those very talented students in AISD who have words of wisdom to share with us in this year's topic of empowerment through education. I'd like to introduce Lamar Watson, the 7th grade student from Pearce Middle School, Nelson Cole, and Joseph Bonney, who are both seniors at McCallum High School. And then we'll hear a tribute from our amazing Bedichek Middle School Choir. And I want to thank you for coming today, and please embrace and enjoy the words of our students, the students we work for and enjoy serving every single day. Lamar, please join me.
I am honored to be speaking here on behalf of my school today. I will be speaking on the topic dreams. This great nation was founded on a dream. It was a dream of civil equality. But exactly 153 years later, that dream was still being ignored. But in this year, a baby boy was born. His name was Michael King, now better known as Martin Luther King Jr. Exactly 39 years later, he was dead. But what happened in those 39 years will forever change America and remind America of the dream that the nation was supposed to run on. Understanding a dream is understanding that you can make your dream into reality. Knowing that your dream isn't just a figment of your imagination can empower you for whatever comes your way. Martin said in his I Have a Dream speech the word dream 14 times. In the 17-minute speech, Martin declared that he was not selfish with his dreams. Some people dream for riches and fame, others for fortune. But Martin, at the time, was a famous man, dreamed for a better future for him and the rest of the world. It was a dream that he would not live to see. Martin himself said before death, I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we, as a people, will get to the promised land. He also said in his life, faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. That is exactly what Martin did. No one would have expected that in Harlem, New York, while signing autographs, Miss Isola Curry would walk up to him and stab him in the chest. Having faith is stepping out in the rooms with racists, declaring you're right, and then being able to face them in the parking lot when no one is there. Having faith is standing in front of a march, knowing they would spray you down and sick dogs on you. Martin had faith, and I today have faith for our city and for our nation. I have a dream that one day every kid in the nation will be able to pursue their dreams so that the next generation after them can live in their dreams. Do you realize that we are living in the dream of Martin Luther King Jr.? We are also living in the dreams of people like Crispus Attucks, Eli Whitney, Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, and Booker T. Washington. We today are the promised land. Nothing can convince me that we are not. I did a little research about AISD during the time period that we were talking about. Did you know that this district was not legally segregated until 1980? This district has only been desegregated for 32 years. Does that mean that this district is bad? No. In 1980, there was a long way to go. And I think that it doesn't show racism. To me, it shows that AISD has come a long way from 1980. It also means that we have come a long way from the hatred and violence that was America, and closer to a world of global diversity. Oh yes, I believe we've come a long way. I came from Pearce to let you know that I am proud of this nation. A changed nation. A nation where I can go to any school I please. A nation where I can sit wherever I want to on a city bus. A nation where I can buy my own house and not have to worry about my neighbors. A nation founded on a dream of civil equality. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Joseph Bonney, and I'm very glad to have been chosen to speak among many people here. Let's begin by describing what exactly education is. Many people respond that education is going to school, doing the work, getting the diploma, and looking for a job. To a degree, this is true, but there's more to education than just this. Having an education gives you the tools for life that cannot be taken away. There are some things that you just cannot learn from staying at home and watching TV. You could very well try to do that, but it's hard to grasp the idea of what's something without physically doing it, or being around peers who are learning it with you. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., education must enable a man to become more efficient to achieve with increasing facility the legitimate goals of his life. Many kids in the world want to be able to do something to change their lives, whether they're among the rich living in a mansion with a great family business, or the poor hoping for a better day to come. The thing that all the people have in common is that they need an education. For example, let's say the poor child gets an education, goes to college, but the rich child decides not to go to college and just gets his high school diploma. The poor child could come out of college with a degree in hand, get offered many jobs. The rich child might have to run his family's business in the future, but he doesn't understand how the economy works, how business works. This could lead to the company going out of business, and even worse, maybe filing up for bankruptcy. As you can see, the lives have been switched now. The moral behind this is having a solid education can change anyone's life, no matter who they are or where they came from. People from different time periods of the world have needed an education in order to give themselves a voice. Martin Luther King went to college, got a Bachelor of Arts degree in Morehouse College, and then went back to college to get his PhD in philosophy of systematic theology. He used this power to help initiate the civil rights movement, which gave people like me the rights in the United States. If he was just an ordinary African-American U.S. citizen, no one would even look his way. If he tried to speak his mind, no one would even listen. His education helped to give him credibility. Education is the key to allowing your voice to be heard. You can make your own logical opinions while being exposed to the half-truths, prejudice, and propagandas of life. Your morals will not be easily broken or swayed by those who you believe know more than you do. African Americans were able to give themselves a voice during the civil rights movement of the late 50s and early 60s. They knew that having riots and rampaging through towns would not solve anything and decided to give speeches, have boycotts, and use other nonviolent means to get their position across. This has helped African American children throughout the ranks of social classes to learn their history and understand that they can change this country by using it to mold the future of America. The empowerment through education is a power that should not be taken lightly. It's something that, if fully grasped, can lead to joyous life for not just you, but everyone around you. The people you're all around will respect you. The people you meet will like you, and the ones that used to put you down will look up to you. Nothing or no one will be able to get in your way.
My name is Nelson Cole, and I'm a senior at McCallum High School. I'm honored to be here today on the near eve of MLK Day to give a speech on the topic of empowerment through education. Empowerment is an important issue today. With the growing Occupy movements and the looming recession, it seems like a lot of people are worried about if empowerment still exists, if it's still possible to rise from nothing and become something. Empowerment is a broad word covering many disciplines. Its definition covers a wide scope, but it all rests on the general belief that power is a social relationship. only as big as or as small as those involved. You can't be powerful alone. It is obtained through a group of people, through relationships, and relationships can change just as power can change. Empowerment is the belief that things may not always be the way they are. It is a hope that hopefully one day the less fortunate will rise. Dr. Martin Luther King is a great man we all know good and well, a man who fought for justice and equality, a man of simple logic who understood that love was the only cure to hatred, and that good was better than evil. Dr. Martin Luther King saw hope for a better life for African Americans as he saw hope for all minorities to one day rise. But he knew that empowerment is a process that involves struggle and much effort. It is not something that happens overnight when a law is signed, such as the Voting Rights Act. The empowerment of African Americans is a long, dark, winding tunnel, a tunnel whose doors first creaked open with the ending of slavery, and barriers were knocked down ever since. A tunnel African Americans are still struggling to feel their way through today. Empowerment has not completely happened yet in America. MLK understood how long and dark this tunnel is for all minorities, and that education is the light in this tunnel of empowerment. In a student paper he wrote at Morehouse College, he defined education as two main purposes. The first is to teach students to think critically and intensively, and the second is to promote character. Intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character is the true goal of education. Both of these functions together are important for the process of empowerment to continue. The first function of education, thinking incisively, will lead to self-worth. And self-worth is the most important for those not empowered to feel in order for empowerment to begin and continue. Before training students to pass the standardized tests, we must preach it to them that they matter. For generations, all minorities have been told that they don't matter in this country, that they merely were tools in someone else's game. This belief is still alive, and it's hard to overcome, and it has led to generational poverty for many. It is a major barrier in this tunnel of empowerment. Martin Luther King, 6 months before he was assassinated, spoke to a group of students at Carruth Junior High School, where he talked about how the number one thing in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your worth, and your own somebodyness. Many students feel as if they don't matter before high school even begins. They feel like the classroom isn't their route because of everything in the world surrounding them telling that. We must let all students know that they matter and we need them, and that we must ask them, what do you think? What matters to you? How can you change the world? The more you allow students to project what they really feel and what matters to them, the more they will come out of their shell. It's important for all students to understand that the world is theirs too, not just someone else's. It's easy for students' beliefs to become watered down by the media that's surrounding them in these days. The result is our mental life will often become invaded by legions of half-truths, prejudices, and propaganda leading all the way to the classroom. This is why Dr. King's first definition for the purpose of education is so important. To first give someone self-worth, and then to think for yourself, and through your own voice, challenge the world surrounding you. This all comes from learning to think and try and love for yourself. Thinking incisively and self-worth are important for empowerment to begin, but character is necessary for it to continue. Dr. King once said, education which stops with efficiency may prove to be the greatest menace to society. The most dangerous criminal is a man gifted with reason but with no morals. A true education will therefore display the accumulated knowledge of social living. Just as it is important for students to understand that they matter, it is also important for them to feel a part of the community surrounding them. That way they will grow up wanting to give it back to it positively. Education is not meant to trample over the masses and rise and run away and hide. You must remember where you came from and what got you there, and to give back. Giving back is the function of education that keeps empowerment moving. So I ask those who make it, slide the ladder down once you make it up. Help build it up, help change. Students should learn that whatever it is they end up doing, to do it well. MLK once said, if you're a street sweeper, sweep the streets like Michelangelo. Learn to love yourself and the community surrounding you, and to do your best at whatever you do. So I conclude that education truly is a solution to empowerment. By encouraging the skilled to step up and think for themselves and building character to give back to where they're from, we can all, step by step, empower America.
Good morning. My name is Ashley George, and this is Hannah Manifold, and we're the choir directors at Bedichek Middle School. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to perform for you today and to be a part of this very important celebration and remembrance. We'd like to perform two spirituals for you, Good News and Ride the Chariot. We have two very special soloists, Casey Craig and Demi Alcantar. And our final offering will be May the Road Rise to Meet You. Thank you again for having us, and we hope that you enjoy.
Good news,
we just want to thank you for coming out and celebrating the MLK holiday with us and for supporting our children. As you can see, they're all so amazing, and their talents range in ways that only, God can bless them, and that, parents can support them, and teachers and staff in developing them. So I just want to say thank you again for coming out, and I want to just thank all of you for making such a dedicated contribution to making our day special as well. So thank you, and have a wonderful holiday and break.